is pretty slow.
Okay.
You get 47 out of 100. Compressing some of the images it would definitely help you out. You've got some JavaScript. You've got some JavaScript and CSS above the fold, and you got some embedded JavaScript and CSS. I don't know in your theme if you want to really, the squeeze may not be worth the juice on that, but we've been seeing page load times being more and more important, especially on the mobile side. I haven't looked quite at your mobile, but I'm assuming that this is a responsive site. So I would definitely take a look at that. The other thing I noticed on the site, page titles, just basic. The page titles are not extremely descriptive of what you're trying, and that is still the top real estate you can do. I mean, it's the most basic SEO thing, but I see this with these WordPress themes, I see it all the time. People are just letting the theme create the title tags, and that is probably not a good idea. You should probably just spend a little bit of time creating a title tag that has first of all, it's your headline. So if you want even if you're ranking for a specific keyword, if your headline's not good, you're not going to get the click through, right? So you want to make sure you spend time on that, And if you go back and do it may take you a little while to get everything that you have on there, but going forward, just kind of make a process. I'm going to spend 10 minutes coming up with the title tag for each page, and really kind of put some thought into it. That will probably give you more bang for your buck than anything else.
Well, and given the way you're using the site too, it's important to find those really tactical ways, right? I mean, you don't want to spend 2 hours a day optimizing the site. So I'm inferring that from what you told us beforehand. So, just getting the title tag right, getting the social promotion thing right that Stefan mentioned, those are things, really easy tactical things you can do to put yourself in better shape.
There's also a great episode to listen to on Marketing Speak, where I interviewed Daniel J. Lewis, the Audacity podcast. I don't know if you've heard of him. He has a whole course on SEO for podcasts, and I interviewed him on that very topic. So there's a lot of stuff to think about, like how to get to the top of iTunes searches, because that's a very different algorithm than Google, not nearly as sophisticated, and a whole bunch of stuff you might be wasting your time thinking about don't even count in that algorithm. So check out that's a recent episode on Marketing Speak. And just speaking of the whole iTunes side of things, you don't want to put your episode number so prominent that nobody cares. I mean, that's more for kind of just convenience. So it's at the beginning of your titles on your permalink pages. It's, I think, at the beginning of the titles and in your episodes and your RSS feed and thus iTunes and everything. You want to stick that at the end, really downplay that, and put powerful starting kind of keywords and calls to action or reasons for them to listen to the episode. So this episode 130, The Science of Pride with Jessica Tracy, does not really compel me. So if I don't know who Jessica Tracy is, then that just didn't excite me at all. So really bring something powerful out from that episode and put that into the title.
Also, you've got pagination on your homepage, which is effectively like just going back in time, like having kind of date or time-based pagination, and it's kind of a waste. Nobody's going to search that way. Category-based navigation is much more effective.
Can you pull up that? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Just pick an episode of the Marketing Speak to show the visual. Oh, I see. Very bottom.
Yeah, it's kind of just you're getting a lot of page views in of that kind. That's what's actually showing up at the beginning of your site column. Probably because they're all getting links off of the home page. And it's just not something.
Is your console? So are you having indexing problems? Do you look at your webmaster console and see how many pages are indexed?
It hasn't looked lately. It's more the way the pages relate to each other and the indexing, but that the homepage links to those, list pages, in essence, that makes sense.
The other thing, and again, I don't know how, if you do this or not, but this is like just general for everybody that's using, especially with WordPress. I guess you would call it just your general audits that you're always going to attention to, making sure that if there's any plugins that you're using that, or that you have installed that you're not using, make sure that you actually delete them if they're gone. Right.
And so I'm seeing your trust flow score at 30 for rocketdaily.com on Majestic. So if you can get on other people's podcasts and make a free like little package of stuff that you give to listeners, and that's on your site, so you give them a special URL like rogerdooley.com. So let's say that you're on the Giving Back podcast because you do something that's really cool and get on that podcast. Okay. So offer something to the listeners, mention rogerdooley.com/givingback. That's where you get all your free gifts, the free ebooks, and the free white papers and what have you. Make it really a compelling offering, and then you'll get some nice link juice from that. So, also, to get on other people's shows, there's a service called Interview Connections. For $400 a month, you can get on it's either 4 or 8 shows a month, I forget which. So that's a really good service. I'm just a silver member. I paid $97 one time, and I've gotten on I think a half dozen different shows, and some really good ones too, like Built to Sell. The guy's a best-selling author. He's got a great podcast, and I was on his show just for paying them one time $97 fee to Interview Connections.
We got just time for one more.
Oh my God, how'd the time go? Okay, we gotta move on. There you go, Roger.
I'm sorry, I'll never recycle one more comment if you have another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, what?
Sorry.
You have enough, you have enough.
Good stuff,
No
thanks.
more comments for you?
Okay, we're going to move on to Lumbet. Am I saying that right?
Lumbet or?
Where are you?
Can you tell us a little bit about your friend's conflict?
It's a new project we launched for a client, and they're the largest veterinary hospital in Chicago, and they're obviously in the competitive space, using the triple veterinary hospitals, in Chicago. They're in a very competitive space, not only in Chicago, but their neighborhood. They're right in Wrigleyville. A lot of millennials and a lot of money to be spent, but they were having a whole bunch of trouble ranking before they came on with us, and we built the site and we launched it about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
What's happened since the relaunch?
10 days, so we haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
So you don't even have, so you have a podcast show on here, but you don't even have the episodes on separate pages or anything?
Yeah, they wanted to group them all together, despite the fact that we suggested that they are independently in tiny pages.
Yeah, so every episode needs a separate page.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's just no way around that. And this is such a thin content page. If you click on podcast, it's just like a couple paragraphs and then a link to iTunes. I mean, what about like a link to Stitcher and to Google Play, so you can subscribe those ways? I mean, this is super thin, and they put all this effort into creating a podcast show. I really love the visuals. They're really cute, like that homepage visual. You guys should make a whole campaign around this and a bunch of images with really great little quotes or inspirational messages and things like that, so people will share the heck out of that. You could hit, I don't know if you know who Louise Hay is. She's amazing, like self-help guru. She's 90 years old. She wrote You Can Heal Your Life and a whole bunch of other books.
It's Louise Hay.
Louise Hay. So check out her calendars, her affirmation cards and things like that, and kind of model around that, but with puppies and cats and all sorts of animals, because there's so many animal lovers, and if I can just download this stuff or share it and everything and get an inspirational message a day or whatever, affirmation or something cute and feel good. People are looking for something with a really strong positive emotional effect that helps them to look like they're kind and benevolent and loving and everything, so that they elevate in social status and then they get access to more resources. This is just baked into our brains, how we survived as a species so that we didn't get kicked out of the tribe, because you'd be dead if you got kicked out of the tribe. So the stuff that goes viral is stuff that has really high positive emotional effect. And when you pair it with a positive quote or something, really positive feel-good image that makes them look really caring and benevolent and loving, you got some gold there.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, just a thought that came to me. And again, I don't want to turn this into too much of a social thing, but when you're paying attention to that kind of content, like you were saying, you know, if there's content that's being shared more, like within one of these podcasts, or for example, if you're struggling trying to figure out, well, what can I do on certain social channels with this? Well, that's the kind of stuff that you pay attention to, and then you could use like the Instagram stories, for example, where you can share little, you know, snippets from some of the more popular content. You have content forever if you just pay attention to that. You know what I mean?
So you're doing some good stuff in terms of getting visibility, because you are getting people linking to you. Well, how's that happening? What are you doing to make that happen today?
Well, it's they're a very well-respected group. She's got a talk show on WGN radio. She has a lot of celebrity clients that come through the practice that speak of her on their blogs and their channels. So it's all organic. We haven't launched into any. So the stuff you're seeing is all organic and building. It's not.
Right, but there's two types of organic, right? There's the organic where it just happened magically, even though you didn't encourage it at all. And then there's actually providing a little bit of encouragement. So, are you doing anything?
We're more on the magic side.
Yeah, well, so it doesn't actually make the link from a Google perspective less organic, just because you know, when you have somebody who, you know, is on with you, that you actually encourage them to give you a rank or ask them to share a social from what's
It
that.
is not illegal to ask for.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Despite what people might think of it.
Yeah, it's totally not. Yeah, the only line that you really shouldn't cross is paying for the link, so to speak, or some form of compensation. But the organic stuff, your stuff that's been happening is already netting you some really nice links. So it's clear that people are responding to it.
On the code side, just looking at it, you've got a lot of plugins. You've got your Yoast, you're using Yoast. Just make sure they're updated, and like we said earlier, if you're not using it, you get a plugin that's in there, make sure you delete it. Page speed is pretty good, actually, 72 out of 100. I could probably do some image compression. On sites like this, where we have kind of the scrolling Ajax type thing, they can be very susceptible to page bloat, so just be careful on that. Okay. I think that you know, otherwise it looks, your code looks pretty good. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me in the few pages that I looked at. I think your titles, we could debate on this one all day long. You're using pipes. Not sure if I would use pipes on this, especially because, like I said earlier, title tag is your headline. When someone's searching for something, they see that in the Google search, and if they see it said, hey, your title tag right now is Chicago Animal Hospital pipe, Blue Animal Hospital pipe, Chicago Vets. I might take a look at trying something that's a little bit more palatable to the user when they're coming in. And I might even look at those keywords. Blue Animal Hospital, guess what? Without putting it in your title tag, you're going to rank for it.
Google's really good at that.
So, you may not want to waste space. Yeah, you may not. But you know what? There are times though. Say if the brand is well known, and I don't know the brand as well, it's good to have your brand in there, because then people see, oh, I've heard of these guys, and click on it. That's something that I can't tell you without knowing a little bit more about your brand thing. And it may take some time. You can even test it a little bit.
So you also have some of your category pages that are showing up in the index are for reporting. I haven't checked to see how extensive it is, but, so the Advantix page is a 404, for example. So you might want to try to figure out how extensive that is, because that's definitely not a good.
Definitely check your webmaster console. It'll tell you, so that, you know, where your 404s are, or you've got problems, make sure that you're checking them.
Yeah, don't just rely solely on Search Console though. Also use a crawler like
Screaming Frog or-
Screaming Frog or Deep Crawl if it's a large scale site. You would need Deep Crawl for a small site. But one other thing too, if you could pull up the
While you're doing that, let me just, every category page I've checked, or every tag page is 404, all of them.
I'm not a big fan of tag pages, so you might just want to not have tag pages anymore and just have category pages.
Yeah. I
It
agree
look
with
really
that.
spammy. Okay. But yeah, you got to correct that 404. So if you go to
What's a tag page?
a tag page is so instead of a category, you just make up a keyword or maybe you use an existing keyword that you've already set up, but it's not as much of a kind of hierarchical structure. It is kind of more free form, just associating different keywords with different blog posts, and then WordPress creates tag pages where all of those posts that have been tagged with that same keyword appear in reverse chronological order.
So think about it, it's like you have a word cloud, except there's no emphasis, they're all the same priority, and sort of just, as opposed to Stephen's point, a nice orderly hierarchy that people can understand.
Okay, so here's a real ripe opportunity for you guys. So you want something that's link-worthy, and yet your client has been on WGN, on the Today Show. I mean, this is a big deal, and these are really valuable segments that would appeal to a lot of people. So if you were to have video embeds of these things, and don't just rely on the whatever player that they're using and whatever website that it's on, like WGNTV.com, etc. Take this stuff and stick it on the client's YouTube channel and title it appropriately so that it really is, it's good keyword-rich titles on these YouTube videos with good social proof, right? So not Dr. Mark's appearance on WGN News to discuss canine influenza. That would not be nearly as powerful as, or let's say, you know, the I don't know, one of these is like some local affiliate in Southern Illinois or something of ABC. Well, it's not that name of that town or whatever, ABC or the call letters WXYT or whatever. It's ABC TV and then the name of the city, right? And then so Dr. Mark's on ABC TV Phoenix or whatever, and then the topic, or even put the topic first. And then on this page, you want to have YouTube embeds of all these things, and go into custom thumbnails in YouTube and pick a really compelling thumbnail. Don't just go with the automatic ones. But you want to be in control of this whole process, so that's why it's got to be on your YouTube channel and your clients, I mean.
So also, you have date archives on the site, and I'm also not a fan of those. You're just shooting up, creating pages, and people don't navigate by date. So stay with category hierarchy. It's much cleaner. And who's Jackie Shepard? She's someone who writes for you. Is she somebody that has some influence? Because you could have author pages for these people, and that's an opportunity to.
How did you find her? She's in the blog, right?
Yeah, I found, you know, one of your authors. I saw that it's unlinked, and it'd be more attractive for people to write for you, that, you know, people of some authority, if you are giving them some visibility in the process as well, rather than just their unlinked name at the bottom of the article.
We're about out of time on this site. Homeless County, you might want to make sure they put the right size images.
And there's well, I'm just sure, I think that one's actually supposed to, it's kind of a fish eye thing.
Oh, yes, that's how it's supposed to be.
Fish eye.
That's what happens when you get the client control.
Good time.
Oh, you did client control, that was a mistake.
Make sure the phone number at the top, on the top right is clickable.
It's not.
No, it's not. All details like that are important.
So,
That's usually on Google with the Skype installed or ground seller on.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, right now, thanks, boys. Awesome.
Welcome.
We're moving on to mymassachusettsdefenselawyer.com.
right there.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, so, awesome. So, since I'm doing kind of the link stuff, you definitely need help from a link building perspective. I think you already know that, right? You've got a trust flow of 7, which is like a little bit like pinning a hate me sign on the back of your back, because it's so low. The highest domain trust of the linking site, source trust, I should say, is a 20. So that's,
Competitors or?
sorry?
Among our competitors or?
We've got a Moz trust of 3.47.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's how this works. This is on a log scale, and because you have a 7 out of 100 on a log scale, this is like almost a 0 with a rounding error. Nobody loves you, as far as Google is concerned. And I hate to put it that way, but this is your Achilles heel. Whatever you do on your site won't matter. It just doesn't matter.
So Gracie is trying to talk to you. Oh, sorry, then you got the chat.
Yes, sorry. So I think we should all focus on giving him some really great link building campaigns, because nothing else we could say, oh, well, fix your pagination and your robots.txt has some, syntax errors or whatever. It's all going to be of 0 value.
so what's the specific, I know I've asked you guys this before, because I know this guy actually pretty well, but remind me, what's the type of law that you're focusing on?
Criminal defense, factor asking implementation.
Right, so are there any inherent regulatory issues about content that you publish?
I can't say I'm a specialist, but it's not that big.
Yeah, okay. Because, doing some interesting things from a publishing perspective would be really good. I haven't looked at the blog yet. I'll do that.
I've worked with a lot of lawyers over the years, and I can tell you ebooks and promoting ebooks can be a really, especially on specific topics, right? What's that? Yes, white papers, ebooks. If you're doing criminal defense, so DUI advice, putting that type of, I'm assuming you're going after DUI, you're going after white collar criminal.
DUI.
Do DUI, okay. DUI, having information about DUI and you showing up as the answer to the questions of someone who has just gotten a DUI or is, had a friend or something. When if people start Googling, what do I do? How do I contact a lawyer? What are my next steps here? I'm sure that you guys are doing all the same things that everybody else. And, you get arrested, you can get 1,000 lawyer postcards in the mail. You're gonna see all of that thing. But in order for you guys to get links and get clients, you need to do something to differentiate yourself. There's some people, I'm out of Dallas. There's some DUI lawyers that are doing some amazing things with just information about your rights and in social media about how and spreading in social media is getting. My view of social, I hate digital sharecropping. I want you to build your brand on your website, so I think using social media is driving website. So you've got to have a Facebook page that's engaging, but say, come download our white paper here. That way you get their information, and it's just a lot cleaner in my opinion. So.
No, absolutely, yeah, and it's a much easier venue to be asking for that lead. I mean, it's better than I would be focusing on that kind of stuff all day versus creating infographics on certain topics, because you're getting more of that lead.
And also just looking at the content that you have on your blog, with my broken glasses, by the way, it seems more targeted at lawyers interested in SEO than it does in terms of publishing content to help clients or prospective clients. So last 4 articles, meditation for lawyers, 2 articles on SEO, how to get the most out of PubCon. I'm sure Brett is not in here. I'm sure he appreciates that. And finally, you have a misdemeanor offense may not mean an arrest. I mean, you need to go more towards that latter content and focus more on that, in terms of, trying to do something to make your site more interesting to link to. It does look like the article you wrote, by the way, the one on, not leading to an arrest, misdemeanor. It's actually fairly extensive, and it's actually a really good piece of content. Well, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so it looks like it's a really good piece of content. It looks like you put some real thought into it. Start doing a lot of stuff like that, you're going to be a better target from the getting links perspective.
Well, so I think one of the things that some of the lawyers have, video is really, if you can do some video blogs type of thing, that visual, especially when you're going after DUI, which while it affects all incomes, sometimes it's more of there's a little bit more of a lower income type of deal that you're dealing with, or you're trying, video appeals to the masses. And a lot of people don't want to sit and read over a white paper, but they'll watch a video. So I would, and it doesn't cost, your production costs can be literally an iPhone in your office. Invest in a microphone, because good audio is what makes good video, but that's, I would suggest that.
So think of some funny viral memes and kind of ways that you could stick out from the noise and create some buzz on social media. So for example, if you do a search for DUI checkpoint funny, and you'll see there's some really interesting videos. If you were to create some viral videos, or even simply being a great curator of existing videos and memes and things like that. So pick the meme with the not sure car owner, DUI checkpoint. Yeah, that one's funny. Do stuff like that. So you go to the tool like memegenerator.net, that's funny.
I mean, if you want to go over the top, see the guy out at Fort Worth.
Yes.
The law hawk.
Yes.
That guy, he put that on TV. That was all on the internet. And he ended up on a Taco Bell Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Just because he was crazy. I'm the law hawk. Screaming and doing, it's not for every lawyer, but it can work.
And again, we've had a lot of success just with these type of fun pieces, since we're talking about them, right? Like you drill down very specifically to your state, not just like a general overview of the 10 weirdest laws on foot, but figure out some of the craziest, stupidest, dumbest laws, or even some that may be still in the books. I mean, those are getting shared all the time. Those do really well. Just think along those lines for that side of it, and that's going to get a lot of really good engagement things.
It seems like link content is very different than client content.
Oh, very, very different. Yeah. So what you're doing is targeting the linkerati, because they're the ones who are going to make the difference for you getting to the. So the rising tide that lifts all boats. Every page of your site will benefit. So think in terms of like, how can I create something that's going to go crazy viral and will just get eaten up by all the Redditors. And then you need a power user on Reddit to submit it for you. Somebody who has a lot of link karma. So this is a great way to determine if somebody knows anything about Reddit, is just ask them, well, what are the 2 metrics that matter? And then just let them talk or say nothing. And it's link karma and comment karma, and the one that really matters is link karma, because like I have somebody working for me who's in the Century Club, and she's got over 100,000 link karma points. In fact, she has alt accounts on Reddit that have more than that. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. She hits the front page of Reddit constantly. She's a supermodel, she's like a huge influencer. She'll regularly drive millions of hits to things that she's uploaded to Imgur and then posted to Reddit and stuff.
What's her name and what's her rate?
Yeah, never mind. And so you need somebody like that, like in your hip pocket that you can use if you create something that's really funny, like on Meme Generator, or take an existing meme that's taking off and just come up with something really clever that has a DUI angle or some kind of a law angle or whatever. That can really go far for you if you do it right.
So one of the things that Stefan mentioned, and I want to actually draw it out a little bit more, and this is really for anybody in the room. When you are creating content with the goal of attracting links to your site, you need to understand who your audience is. Your audience is people who might link. And people who might link need to see certain kinds of content before they're interested in linking. So if you write the 3,227th article on a given topic, it's not going to work. And it might be a wonderful topic, a thing to write about for benefit of your potential clients in your business. But you use the term linkerati, I mean, community, media, influencers, you can all those terms. These are the people. That's the target audience. So figure out what content they want to see, and that's how you build your link and domain for it.
All right, gonna move on now. Thanks.
All right, well, we get to go back to the same spot as we go to Collision Center Delray. Where are we?
It's me here.
So your trust flow is 40% higher than theirs. You're at 10. So it's still also very low.
Right, yeah.
So I think you're going to very much want to get Collision Center Delray right on there. So you definitely are also going to run into some challenges. So you specialize in repair.
Right, yeah, it's a body shop.
Yeah, got it. So then the question is, what's the kind of content that you can create that will help attract attention to your site? Now, how big is the business? Because it's kind of the same question that applies to you guys, but
In terms of what?
like how much time can you afford to spend on doing things like generating great content and things like that?
Well, we have a couple of writers because it's a whole auto group, and this is just one of the sites that we have.
Yeah.
So we could possibly generate a lot.
First thing, keeping in mind that you're targeting is the influencers and the media people who might actually link to your site. Are your writers copywriters, or are they truly experts in collision-related stuff?
Copywriters, yeah.
Right. So don't mean to cost any of their jobs, but I'm less interested in copywriters than I am in subject matter experts.
Yeah. Okay.
The influencers and media people are not going to care about something. If they don't really know the space and they can't do something unique, then it's going to be challenging for you.
Okay.
I mean, of course, there may be potentially virally interesting images like Stefan shared just a moment ago that, and you can go that route as well, but you've got to do something that's going to attract the attention of the people who are going to help you promote your business, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big car guy. If you start throwing out pictures of wrecked Ferraris and Bentleys and Rolls Royces on social media, that stuff goes around fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want to repel these people and the search engines with stuff that looks kind of like thin content doorway pages.
Right.
Right, so you got a bunch of pages I think are on the borderline of that under repair services, like paintless dent repair, aluminum body repair, bumper repair. I mean, it seemed like they were written for SEO purposes more than for human consumption.
Right,
And just
Bentley collision repair, Ferrari collision repair. So, I mean,
let me just read some of this beautiful prose here. Aluminum is a premier choice for automakers due to its strength and lightweight nature. See how the Collision Center Delray steps up for the repair and maintenance of your aluminum-bodied vehicle. I think that was purely for SEO and not.
How many times did you work with aluminum?
Yeah.
The other thing I'm curious about, because I'm just looking at like something that might confuse the local crowd, is you have there's a when you do a Google search of the name, you have there's a West Delray and then there's an East Delray.
Yeah.
Are they different than you?
Yeah.
And you're stuck in the middle, but that, I don't know, maybe these guys have some ideas, but the first thing that I would work on, because especially for like the local clicks and getting, like I'm looking at this and I'm thinking they're the same thing, but even beyond that, I'm looking at it, and the first one's got 14 reviews and it's like 5 stars, and then where you're at, it's got 2 reviews, and so like I'd work on getting reviews so you can at least maybe get some of those.
I will say the site's only been up for like about 6-7 months, and those other businesses have been in business a really long time. So that's like the one part is we're kind of starting.
So that's just like, that's a tough one that you're just gonna have to.
Are you associated with those other businesses?
No.
No.
No, that's just how they've named them.
Okay, I just found a smoking gun here. I was clicking around and I ended up on delraycc.wpengine.com.
There it is.
Oops. Yeah, so I was clicking in the footer on some things like the aluminum repair gauge. I ended up on wpengine.com subdomain.
Just be very careful on that. The security.
It's not a subdomain, it's the main domain.
Yeah, it's a subdomain of WP Engine.
Yeah, that's right, that's what I mean, WP Engine is the main domain, so
Yeah, yeah.
you're off domain at that point.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's bad.
Gotta fix that now. Like, you have a few minutes.
Right, before the end of our time.
Yeah.
And also, you're gonna want to put some time and effort into your local. I know this isn't a local panel, but that's where you're obviously going to get the most.
It's super confusing if most people are looking on their mobile, it's gonna, yeah.
You're gonna have to build citations. And it's a, that's a different ballgame than what we're talking about here, but there are some good services out there that can help you with that. But I would definitely look into improving your local, and also, every time I've ever worked with car dealerships, reviews are the big thing. And reviews are what help, and they help you in all different ways. So any way you can encourage your customers to leave reviews on different sites that, and I know this is an organic SEO, but I think that even helps, with the organic. So definitely an important part of something that you want to do is looking in your local and getting more reviews from your existing customers.
So WPEngine.com, it looks like it's a hosting service specifically designed around WordPress.
Yeah.
And so, just to take the point, never let a third party hold your website hostage. That's to be on your own domain.
Well, that was just a misconfiguration.
Yeah.
So WP Engine is a great company. Yeah, they're a great company, and they don't, it's not like WordPress.com where,
Right.
well, actually, even WordPress.com, they allow you to have your own domain.
Right.
It's just this was a misconfiguration. And it looks like both are responding, and and then you accidentally, with the dev site, linked to the subdomain of WP Engine, and that wasn't fixed when it went live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely what happened.
It's a simple fix, but it can be causing you tons of problems, especially if you're gonna have two pages indexed.
Yeah.
Two different versions of the site indexed, and that's just a duplicate content issue.
Well, and hats off to you for coming here. I mean, you're coming here to the Lions Den, so it's good that we're seeing this.
You guys service Holden and Citroen and Renault. You got those logos on your website too, on the service.
You know what Mike said earlier though, the picture, because I work with high-end car dealerships. We took a McLaren and just had it drive down the road. We took a video of it, and I think we ended up getting over 100,000 views.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take, for car guys, they'll.
And to your point
How
about
much a Range Rover drive down the road? Two every time.
yeah, to your point about the reviews too, like sadly, I can tell you that, just being done with the situation. My wife, I bought her a new car, and I'm not kidding you, a couple weeks old, and a brand new 16-year-old driver blew through a stop sign, and and I have it right in front of me, it was crazy, but the number one factor, because I paid attention to how she did it, just because I paid attention to this kind of stuff, but it was interesting to see like the living company we ended up using and working through was she read like every single review. She went through it thoroughly, and the ones that had closest, obviously, that had the most and that looked like the real ones and that she could trust it. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, the tech firm.
Yeah, one super quick comment on these reviews. I'm seeing a lot of like ratings and really no significant write-ups on most of them. I'd really incentivize people who are putting these ratings in, because they're going to the trouble of getting ratings of likely to recommend, repair quality, customer service, return clean, overall, star rating, kept me informed, yes or no, ready on time, yes or no. And then they do all that and they don't bother filling in the bit, which is just like write something of your own in the my experience column. Get everybody, make that a required column, required field.
Yeah.
Because all these don't look legit otherwise. Without somebody writing in their broken English or with their misspellings or whatever, it just doesn't look real.
Or it reminds you of, if you were in Scott Stratton's keynote, and the bell gave, all the different employees and people that were writing.
Right, yeah.
All right,
Next slide.
thepecfirm.com.
The first thing I knew was just, sitting out at me. We prepared divorce and child custody in Charleston. There's a link to a Charleston page, there's a link to a Daniel Island page, there's a link to a Goose Creek page. All these pages are very, very similar, and that could be a problem, the content issue.
You also have some of the same link authority challenges that we've talked about, but we kind of already covered that. So David Russell, some of the things that you can try to do with that.
These pages are very thick. I'm just looking at, the Charleston one, they look a little bit different from a graphic standpoint, but the content is very.
They're all local languages.
Yeah,
Other communities.
Right. That's just, you need to have, if you're going to have a local landing page, it really needs to have more about that locality. And why should there be a different landing page for Charleston versus Gooseneck versus all of these other places? I understand from your standpoint, but from Google's standpoint, why should there be different? Why should there be different pages for each one of them? So that's something that's created just for SEO.
And like on the images, like on the blog post, for example, I don't know if you're doing everything you can to optimize them, but I would just noticing that, they're taking a little bit longer than the shape to load, and, that could definitely impact it.
Some of your posts don't have really any visuals, like first annual scholarship closure. Actually, that's not even an interesting blog post because very few people are going to care. You got to think about what are the linkerati going to be.
Well, that was done for a specific audience, which is universities who want to get the story so that I get the links. So
make that a more visually compelling blog post then, at least, and have an image go with it. You can get lots of free stock photos from Pexels.com. Who's heard of Pexels?
So I also see that like you have a Charleston divorce guide and a North Charleston divorce guide. I'm imagining the divorce in those two places is pretty similar. And you're thin slicing too much. And the content is obviously not very different. So,
what you're isolating there is local landing pages. I think there's over 100 pages, 150 pages.
Then you got a Christian divorce page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So think about like, how can I help somebody who is not even in my area that could not become a client of mine? How could I help them have a more like painless divorce, or do it themselves kind of divorce, or to protect themselves from divorce, and maybe they're in the process of getting married. There's so many things that you could do to help somebody who's coming to the site, and that's the sort of stuff that's going to attract links. Not just taking a theme of like, all right, well, I want to rank for Christian divorce attorney, and let's create a page around Christian divorce attorney.
The problem with that is the law varies wildly from state to state. So you can write these generic, and I thought about using the blog post for divorce light, that how can you know if your spouse is cheating sort of article. But in terms of giving any substantive advice, I was licensed in Colorado too. It's like talking black and white, the difference in laws between these states.
So you won't be able to give advice per se on like legal advice. You in fact have to disclaim it, like I think you already do at the bottom. But like, how can you be a guiding light for people who are not even going to ever become a client of yours. I think that's a really great way to frame it. So when you have a content writer that you hire to help you create this stuff, and they don't have to be just like 800 or 1,000 word articles or 1,500 word articles, they could be a mix of different things like infographics or videos or worksheets and checklists and how-tos and selection guides for hiring an attorney and making sure that you got all your ducks in a row when you get married and stuff like that. And just,
I'm gonna say, you know, I'm reading through this Christian, and I actually like the content, except for one thing. You are borderline keyword stuffing. In fact, I would say not even borderline keyword stuffing. You are keyword stuffing. I mean, frequently asked questions in a Charleston Christian divorce. When is the right time to file for a Charleston divorce or legal separation? You've got, you know, this is the old joke. An SEO walks into a bar, you know, speakeasy. This is very 2004-ish, 2002-ish type of SEO. And it can and will get you penalized. And it won't be a penalty that you're going to see. It's going to be an algorithmic penalty for thin content.
Well, it's probably already happened.
Right now, I'm actually going to, I would guess that you're under.
I mean, I wouldn't rule out a manual penalty.
You could definitely get one.
So have you looked inside of Search Console?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, this is your first action to take. Sign up with Google Search Console and verify your site, and then go in and have a look to see if you have any manual actions. There's a manual actions option over on the left side. If you got one, it'll show up there. Google is very cool about that. They do tell you now 100% of the time.
The other thing you can go back to is Insight, and you know, you probably want to do this for more of a, if you go for all your pages and just make sure you think stuff like this up. If you click on the divorce guide, I mean, the URL is kind of misleading. But then you scroll down and you say, okay, well, I just wanted the divorce guide. That's what I thought it was, but you scroll down and, okay, well, do I want a divorce guide, or do I want a divorce tax guide, or a divorce settlement guide, or an alimony guide, or a child custody guide? You know, you have opportunity to break that down and clean that up a little bit better. Plus, and we would have to go through this and do full audits, but like, you know, there's lots of pages that have, you know, you're often like, kind of with what Tony was getting at, but you know, like the divorce attorney, the anchor text, and it's fine to be linking to your pages, but everyone I've seen keep linking to a different page.
So, another thing too is, and this isn't necessarily an SEO tip, but I see here that you were voted best family law firm in Charleston. First of all, congratulations for that. That should be in your hero image on your homepage.
Yeah, we just got it. That's in process.
Right, yeah.
Would you promote that in the description that comes up in search terms?
You mean the meta description?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that would help inspire a click, so I'd say yes. Doesn't impact ranking, and so the meta description is all about trying to inspire people to click on you instead of the other Charleston lawyers showing up the, you know, and, oh gosh, you're the best family. I'll go with that.
And keeping people on your page updating like your header images with, you know, to include that information.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
again, that's the stuff that, you know, we want to work with the best.
All right, guys, time to move on. We're gonna move on to answer one.
All right.
So go again.
Answer one, the number one. So, answer one, where are you? Want to tell us a little bit about what your experience is?
Sure. I acquired this company with groups of investors in 2015. The big group branded and we wanted to stand out in the fragmented market, and you know, we're investing heavily in sales, marketing, technology, et cetera. And so this is a new site that's been around for I don't know, 7-8 months now. We started, you know, local campaigns, our blogging, et cetera, and
Yep.
work in progress.
Yeah, fair enough. And traffic has been what's been doing since you had acquired?
So this traffic does not exist when we acquired it. It was a local Phoenix brand that has a lot of local traffic, but no national traffic. We have our frustration now, what we're looking for is we have competitors that we see ranking higher national than us. But we look at their sites and when we analyze the content on their sites, we of course are biased, but we would say, the content and the depth of that site and what they're doing and their doing are terrible. But they are ranking on, X, here, and we're still, way down here.
What's one of your competitors?
So a competitor for us is VickyVirtual.com.
Vicky spelled out.
VICKY virtual.com. And this is somebody that would rank on the first page of Google nationally. And we look at this site and say, well, their content and their site is worse than ours, and they're ranking first page, and we're ranking,
Yeah.
and we're trying to figure it out.
I agree with you that it's not.
Take out the WWE.
I agree that it's not a link problem. We have a better link profile than Vicky Virtual.
Yeah.
There's certainly plenty of freedom there, but that's not the main thing. We get the really cool stuff that guys here found.
So HTTPS.
Yeah, I teach great.
Okay, so if you go to https://answer1.com, you get a nasty warning and a bunch of PHP errors.
What's this name?
So if you remove the www, do https://answer1.com, it gives all sorts of PHP warnings.
Yeah, you see up there.
Okay, so just to be clear, I know 2% of what you guys are talking about. My direct marketing does another 7%. So you have to really dumb this down for me.
Okay, this is what you've done, and what you got happening. When Google, when you create the site, you can have www.answer1.com, or you could just have HTTPS, which is secure, answer1.com. People are typing it. Google is seeing those as separate sites. Unless you're redirecting one of them, you need to choose whether you're going to go www or the other, or just the answer1.com. But right now, when I take out the www, I'm getting errors showing. So you need, any half-assed webmaster can fix that in 2 seconds.
That's a big problem we fix.
Yes.
Lay it on me.
Well, as you can tell, we've been shy with everybody else, so we'll be just as shy with you. So, how active is the blog? Nothing since July published?
No, there should be things being published 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, I'm sorry, then, right, my bad. Yeah. I was that, so, when the door on it, got it. And who's doing the writing for you?
A myriad of internal and external, internal group is kind of doing it themselves, proofreading, giving topics and outlines to external copywriters that then provide us with writing.
And what happens to the copywritten content? Does anybody review it? Or?
Our marketing does.
Yeah, but not a subject matter expert.
No.
Yeah, so it's by definition not elite content. Right? You can't give someone an hour to learn your business space and then expect that they're going to write elite level content. It just doesn't work that way. Right? That's the reason why people who are the best at what they do get paid a lot of money and copywriters don't. Right?
Well, the best copywriters do.
Well, sure.
Dan Kennedy, for example.
Yeah, but probably not employing Dan Kennedy.
I will say, good copywriters are worth the wait. If they are good and can, I come from a journalism background. I feel like I can write something about anything. It may not be elite level or subject matter expert, but I can write it so it's going to be appealing to the customer, so they can understand it. Especially, when we get into like legal stuff, or even what you're doing, you want to write something that is going. It doesn't need to be too technical, but it needs to be appealing to the audience that you're going after. If they're not experts in virtual assistants either.
Right, but from my perspective, that's fine for the main page of your site, but on the blog, your targeted influencers, media people, it's that called literati. And that's where I think we have to get to know the level. And it's really interesting, you link to a good piece of content on a third-party site, and it's great that you link to someone else, that's not a criticism, but you should think about, can I create this content myself? Tenable areas, customer service responses.
Oh, it's on Audi.com.
Yeah.
See, you don't want to be linking off to Distractify.com or Viral Nova or something like that. Those don't put you in the right kind of neighborhood. It's not good optics.
Right.
Like when a prospect who is going to spend a bunch of money with you sees that you're linking to Audi.com, and they're like, what? It's a little, I don't know, sketchy.
Right, but think about creating your own version of a piece of content like that, because that's something that would be really engaging for people, really amazing customer service response scenarios.
But speaking of sketchy,
We got, sorry, we've got like a couple minutes.
once we
Go
run
ahead.
out of music, just run through that show.
What's that?
So what we're seeing is, so you come over here watching, you got this little blue thing.
Sumo me, what the heck?
Exactly.
Okay, well, maybe something injecting that?
Yeah, it might be, I don't know, I don't wanna say a hack yet, but it could be a hack.
You need to just really check it out.
Yeah, that looks like you've been hacked.
It looks like an
That does
injection.
not look good. Another thing that, I know we're running short on time, but just quickly go to the testimonials link.
Can you go back to that thing?
All right, sure. It's just a little tiny thing. You can barely see it in the blue right there. That's a hack.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that means you really have to look into your server security,
Because there might-
and how people are getting in.
Yeah, there might be a lot more injection of different things in it too.
Yeah, once they're in.
So, yeah, go to testimonials, and then all this stuff is in an iframe. That's, all this media content, people saying all these nice things about your company, and it's all in an iframe.
It's actually, I've seen this service before. It's actually the third party company coming in and having.
Yeah, so you need to scrape all that stuff out then, and put it in just regular HTML. And you should just sprinkle this throughout your site too, because it's really powerful social proof. When people have to dig to see the social proof, you're gonna lose them.
The company's really big with ditches. I've sent like 20 business sites that have that customer review.
Is it considered new content if you put it on your site?
No, because it's not considered part of your site now. Now, you mean, is it gonna end up getting indexed at whatever that service provider's main domain is? Probably.
Most likely.
So an canonical on it, you know?
And looks like you're using WordPress. Keep it up to date religiously. And all the plugins, keep them all up to date. This is doorways for hackers.
Delete any you're not using.
Yeah, and delete any you're not using. That's really, really important. It's like, somebody should notice it. Like, with 24 hours coming up, a lot of these updates are about security hacks.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, all right, we are out of
I
time.
heard there's a service.
If you have individual questions, just come up to the front afterwards and grab these guys, but we are
And I didn't know.
out of time, they're chasing us out with the next session. So, can we get a round of applause for our guys up there?
By the way, you were very great. I hope this called out.
It was.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.